Lamar Jackson had a number of firsts this season. He won his first playoff game, and he was the first quarterback to rush for over 1,000 yards in multiple seasons. Lamar's teammate, fullback Patrick Ricard, is that how you say it? Ricard, said, quote, "I think he's just slowly silencing the doubters he's had." But he added, it does not matter because people still doubt Tom Brady. Bow, you ain't lying. So, Acho, has Lamar Jackson done enough to silence his doubters?
So, I got to break down this question, right? And I got to go back to English 10. Shout out to Mr. Gunn in
okay,
High
English
School.
10?
English 10.
Is it Ricard or Ricard? You need English 11.
I got to go back there. Still, I got to say this.
All right,
breaking down the sentences. Has Lamar Jackson done enough? Yes.
Okay.
Has Lamar Jackson done enough? 30-7 is a record. That's the best through 37 games, I believe, as a starter, if not his top 3. Has Lamar Jackson done enough? NFL MVP. Has Lamar Jackson done enough? Started his first season, started 6 games, won just about all of them things. Next year, 12-plus wins. Next year, 11-plus wins. Has Lamar Jackson done enough? Yes. To silence his doubters? No. That's the kicker. Right? Like, as soon as you added in that to silence his doubters, the answer is no. Because now it's no longer predicated upon what Lamar Jackson has done. Now it's predicated upon the doubt. And the doubt is actually greater than what Lamar Jackson has accomplished. The doubt upon Lamar Jackson is, can he still pass the football?
Damn.
Still questions there. The doubt, even though he led the league from passing touchdowns from the pocket his MVP season. The doubt is, can Lamar Jackson stay healthy? Question still there. Last time we saw him, he was concussed. The doubt is, can Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl, right? Somebody who plays a game like Lamar Jackson plays a game. The doubt is still there. So if you was just to ask me, has Lamar Jackson done enough, period, I'd be like, duh, big dog, what you mean? Came into the league, NFL MVP, first 4 years, gone to the playoffs. What you mean, has he done enough? But then you asking me to silence his doubters. Now I have to go look at all the doubters. And the doubters have not yet been silenced.
Man. This dude has done way too much for someone to still be doubting who he is. That person has hate flowing through their blood if they still are doubting Lamar Jackson. Let me just start off with a nugget so I can let you know where my rhetoric is going to take you. He has the second best regular season winning percentage of any quarterback in the Super Bowl era. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so let's just say the dude puts you in position to succeed. Let's start here. First, everyone, visualize. Actually open your eyes and look real closely at them moving the goalposts once again on Lamar Jackson. Damn, they strong, those doubters. They moved the goalposts again. Where did they start? He needs to switch positions. Really? Well, I'm glad he didn't because he saved his head coach's job and took him to the playoffs as a rookie. Oh, well, he plays quarterback, but can he play quarterback well? I don't know. Maybe being one of only 2 unanimous MVPs in NFL history tells me he might could play that position. Or the fact that, like you said, he led the league in passing touchdowns last year, and everybody tried, but he was the one that won. Well, you know, let me move this goalpost a little more. He can't win a playoff game. Got you there. And then this year, he wins a playoff game. And now they on the field, and they just tied up their cleats. We gonna move these goalposts. He can't win the Super Bowl. And Dan Marino sitting there somewhere like, wait a minute, no, what the hell y'all talking about? You can't be great unless you win a Super Bowl? I remind everyone that Lamar Jackson is just 24 years young. And Steve Young didn't win a playoff game till he was 31. Jim Kelly, 28. Aaron Rodgers, 27. Drew Brees, 27. Peyton Manning, 27. Peyton Manning, woo. Troy Aikman, 26. John Elway, 26. Montana, 25. Boy, stop. What are y'all trying to do with Lamar Jackson's image and perception? Because if you want to stick to reality, he's done way too much for y'all still to doubt him.
I'll tell you exactly what they're trying to do.
What they do?
The questions about Lamar Jackson have always been his style of play.
Really? Why?
Because he came out here and he's a running quarterback
Steve Young
at first, right? But let me check that. Let me clarify that misnomer because I had to dive into it because you kept pushing me back. I said maybe Marcellus is up to something.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson last season had 2.5 pass yards for every rushing yard. The best way to quantify if you're a running or passing quarterback or the running quarterback thing is how many pass yards do you have for every rushing yard you have, right? Like Tom Brady probably has about 15 passing yards for every rushing yard, right? Maybe even 30, maybe 50. context. Lamar Jackson, 2.5 passing yards every rushing yard. Let y'all in on a little secret. Steve Young ran the ball a lot.
A whole lot for that era.
A whole lot for that era.
You got to remember, that context of that era is it's even crazier.
It is.
Okay.
But when Steve Young won the Super Bowl, he passed for 13.5 yards for every 1 rushing yard.
Okay.
Because he changed his style of play. He brought it in.
Yeah.
Think about it. The only time we've seen dual threat-ish quarterbacks win Super Bowls, Aaron Rodgers passed the ball 11 yards for every 1 rushing yard. The closest to Lamar Jackson is Russell Wilson's Super Bowl. He passed the ball 6.2 yards for every 1 rushing yard. So the doubt, Marcellus, is this. Lamar Jackson, we don't know if your style of play can win because it's never won. People bring up Steve Young, but when Steve Young won, he was passing 13 yards for every 1 rushing yard. When Aaron Rodgers won, he was passing 11 yards for every 1 rushing yard. When Russell Wilson even won, he was passing 6 yards for every 1 rushing yard. But you, Lamar, you only passed for 2 yards for every 1 rushing yard. I don't think that can win. And that is where the doubt lies. I gave y'all the analytical component of just pure jargon.
I love it.
That's the true breakdown of where the doubt for Lamar Jackson lies.
Okay, here's the problem. The problem with that is we're not starting on equal footing. Because of the resistance of the running quarterback, especially before this era, you don't have the volume of running quarterbacks to even compare it to. You have 2,000 to 1 running quarterback. 2,000 statues versus 1 quarterback. And then you go at the end of the equation and say, see, the running quarterbacks can't win. You're like, you only gave 1 an opportunity. The other 2,000 statues, of course, you're going to have more that have won Super Bowls. That's my only pushback. But the atmospheric pressure that resisted a Lamar Jackson type. More than that, though, let's talk about the limitations maybe in this offense. Despite him succeeding in this offense, you do have a once-in-a-generation type of talent. Because as great as Michael Vick was, Lamar Jackson is a better runner. And as great as Michael Vick was, and he had that gun, he's a better passer than Michael Vick. Now, let's be real about this. He has a 106 passer rating in the last 2 years, which is top 5 in the NFL. Passer rating. I ain't say running rating, passer rating. Second most touchdowns in the NFL, only 2 in total touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers. Dog, he lights up the scoreboard. He does it from the pocket. He will even do it with his legs. But still, there's this resistance out there. And then everyone's in love with Deshaun Watson. And I look at his resume. And I look at Lamar Jackson's resume. And I'm like, why are people in love with this guy who's won 1 playoff game and not this guy who's won 1 playoff game? And this guy won a unanimous MVP. And this guy don't even want to be where he is. Boy, make it make sense. Coming up, there's no guarantee Dak Prescott